EIGRP Authentication. On this topology, we already have EIGRP configured because we did configure it on our other labs. So EIGRP is already being configured here, everywhere. And R5 can be R2, R5 can be R1, and R5 can see all these routes, yeah? And every single router, not R5, but every single router can see every other IP address that is on this topology. But what we need now is we configured our EIGRP the way we want it, but we need to secure it so we don't this will not happen. Like a rogue router can come in and connect to R4, let's say, and or R5 and form a neighbor relationship, and they will have internal access to our network. What we need is we need to have authentication, and on our topology we have a big topology, but we will test it in here. So we will assume R5 gone rogue on us and it's infected with the virus and everything. So we're going to terminate this link. So we will apply our authentication keys here. We can shut it down, but let's pretend that we cannot shut it down, but we can apply our authentication here, and R5 or any other router that does not have the keys cannot authenticate with us. So here is how you configure it. Let's go to R4 and configure it. We are in R4, we already console in. This is continuation from where we left off last time. So we need to go to global configuration mode, and the first thing that we need to do is create keys. So we need to create a keychain, and the keychain, I will name it EIGRP. You can name it whatever you want. This does not have to be EIGRP key. It's entirely up to you, but this is what I can come up with. So yeah, 1 2 3 is easy to remember. That's why I don't want to remember it. And this is a lab, so it doesn't matter what I do. I will just delete everything after I finish. So let's go to inside the interface, because you can create keys all day long, but you need to apply it somewhere. So where we will apply on this topology is here. So this interface is 0/1 gigabit Ethernet 0/1. This is 0/0. It will form the neighbor relationships going all good, because this is our internal and this is our external or other routers that we don't want to connect to our EIGRP unless they can authenticate. So let's go back to our 4 console and go to inside the interface that we want, 0/1, and start with IB authentication and keychain. You can always use a sensitive help, and it depends on the protocol that we need to use, EIGRP on this case, and autonomous system 100. And this is where we put our keychain that we created. Remember this keychain? You copy it. If you select it, it will copy for you on the clipboard, so you can press enter. And it's not done yet. IB authentication mode EIGRP autonomous system 100, and we will say use MD5. On RIP, if you remember, it gives you option to as a clear text, but on EIGRP it only give you MD5, which is much more secure. It is hash based, so it's good security. Okay, so that neighbor relationship will go down. You can see that it required authentication and it failed. So what we will do is, if we go to R5 now, you can see it's terminated. Show IB route. You will not see any routing table in here. And if we debug IB EIGRP, obviously, neighbor, and we should see some authentication messages coming. But anyway, it's not debugging and troubleshooting lab, so we know that the neighborship is down. So we need to go to the global configuration and configure keys. keychain. The keychain that we're using is EIGRP. EIGRP key. Enter, and is key 1. Repetition is good, so we're just repeating the same process. ABH123. Exit out of here again, and go inside the interface. So the interface that we go inside it is 0/1, and IB authentication and keychain. You can put the other way. You can just start with the mode EIGRP. It doesn't matter which one you put first. MD5. Enter. IB authentication keychain EIGRP 100. As long as you have the right keys, it will authenticate you. So I've been lazy here. I'll just copy and paste and enter. So it will form the neighbor relationship again. You see that? It just formed the neighbor relationship. So that means our authentication is working. And if we apply the same authentication, just for the sake of it, same authentication on 0/0, so all the neighbor relationship will go down on this side. Yeah, so R4 and R5 will be isolated, but the rest will not be able to communicate with R4. They will be able to communicate with each other this way, but not R4. Yeah, so let's just do that. Let's confirm it. We will use the same keys, but just authentication mode, MD5 mode, authentication EIGRP, autonomous system 100, MD5. Yeah, IB authentication. Yes, so it's already down. No neighbor relationship with router 3, router 1, router 2. So, but what we can do is we can just undo what we did, and it will form again. Let's just click no. As you can see, is forming the neighbor relationship. So that is how you configure EIGRP authentication. That's all about it. Thanks for watching.